What is going on, y'all? Welcome to Joel Friday TV. I am Joel Friday. A few announcements before we get started. Hit that like button, smack it. Later, smack down the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and the message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, you know how it goes Monday through Thursday. We are live at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and at any point during the show, you know what you can do. You can call in, and we could talk about We could talk about whatever you want, okay? Whatever you want to talk about, we can get into it. I'm here for it. And if for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. The link is in the description. Or go directly to the YouTube live chat. Hit the super chat button there. Send your question or comments. I will read them live on air. Amazing stuff. And if you are tuning in on Facebook or Instagram, and you don't have the link and you have a question or comment, remember you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV on your internet browser and send your question or comments there, and I'll read them live. So you do have those options. Also, your support is much appreciated. Amazing stuff. IG, Facebook, YouTube, Punchy.tv. We are live across the board. Pick which platform you want to watch from and hop in the comment section and have a ball. Get to it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Amazing stuff. C-Sal with a super chat out the gate. Finally, a decent shirt, Joel. No gun showing. Yeah, they are hidden today. I'm more conservative than most days today. I am a church boy today. I'm not a heathen like the other days. I'm not a walking what do you call that thing? Seducer. Today we got Jesus in the forefront with the pink tea. Thank you, C-Style, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Joel is finally a Republican, says Zenny. Oh, just a reminder. Jasmine just reminded me. Make sure you guys don't call in with no what do you call it? No chat debates. No chat insults. So do not call in to talk about who's talking mess about you in the chat. Don't do it. Because remember, Facebook and Instagram don't know what you're talking about. So they're going to sit there bored. And it just don't make sense to be taking chat personal. Just think about that. If it hurting your feelings that much that you gotta call into a show about it, you gotta look in the mirror. Some words on a screen affect you that much. So don't be calling in the show talk about people in the chat. It make no sense. Everybody having fun for the most part. There's some crazy stuff, but still don't take it personal. And don't be nasty in the chat either. Anyway. Moving on. What do we got? Ooh. I got some about to start a fire right now. I got some stuff I got to show you guys. Lord. And I've been talking about it, but it's just so good. I had to just drive the point, right? And it's just interesting. Bad boys versus nice guys. It's a tale that never gets old. It's been happening since the beginning of the time. It's a war that ceases to end. Bad boys versus nice guys. And I don't think it'll ever end. It just is what it is. But I wanted to speak on it a little bit. Because I was on Instagram. I was on Instagram scrolling, you know, doing my daily dose, my addictive scroll. Gotta get my hit throughout the day, right? And as I was on there, I seen like an attractive couple, you know, like pretty girl, really pretty, really, really, really pretty girl. Very, very, very handsome guy. Right? And then I was thinking like, you know, that's interesting how, you know, how did they come together? Because, you know, it's a crazy time. And it's a crazy time. So I'm thinking like, how did that happen? I wonder how he like, you know, or like what she liked about him, what she saw in him, and how he got her type of thing. And I was thinking, so I like clicked on the profile, and then I saw a picture. Picture popped up of like them or like her. I don't know. It was like an anniversary picture. I don't know what it was. And I read, and it kind of just like explained a lot. So I kind of want to read that with you guys today, what I saw, because what I imagined in my mind is I was thinking that I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, oh, she likes him because he looks like a strong guy and he's like, you know, solid, you know, and maybe he's, I don't know. got his stuff together, a decent guy. I'm like, maybe that's why she likes him. That's interesting. Let me look and find out. So I went and looked, and this is how it happened. Let me show you guys. Hold on. I'm going to read it. This is from Instagram. It's a caption on Instagram. And he wrote this. Hold on. Let's go back. It goes, I was just going through photos and I'll never forget this night. I'm sorry I have to share. The day after our first kiss, Kat was supposed to leave town and I was leaving the following day. She FaceTimed me when she got on the plane and said, should I get off this plane and go to you? Is that too much? I should just stay on, right? But it would be pretty romantic, I think. What do you think? I told her to do it. And since she didn't have MK that weekend, I guess some form of work, she didn't even hesitate. She got all her things from the overhead, and at this point, everyone on the plane was sitting down. Flight attendant asked, where was she going? And all she said was, I'm going to see a boy I just met. And then all the passengers started clapping and cheering, and she left the plane that night, and we had our first dinner where it was just us. I'll never forget the feeling I had taking the picture right before our first date night. What the? And then I thought, like, okay, I understand it. It was kind of shocking to me to see it that way, because I'm like, was this serious? And it sounded like a movie, but these are grown adults. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, is that the guys today and the girls today, for the most part, are so tied together emotionally. It's so emotional, but I didn't know that it was that bad. I'm talking about, these are like people in the 30s that like are having, the guys are behaving in that way as if it's normal, and saying that was his post. He wrote it, and I blocked it out because we don't need to be, we keep his business private, but I mean, it's on Instagram. But anyway, that the fact that he felt it was okay to post that and to behave in that way, and for her to accept it as something that was like romantic, was so interesting to me. Cause that's so not real. Very emotional. But I understand. And I want to explain why I understand really quick, and then I'm gonna give you some more examples. But I totally understand. When I told you I used to do stuff like that. Like, I used to think that way. I used to do crazy stuff out of emotional thing. And what it is that the feelings come about, right? And most people, a lot of people, don't recognize that the feelings are not real, right? That they're just puffing you up, making you feel good. And they don't disattach themselves from it. What they do is, and instead, as we know, they identify with the feelings as the truth. And we all do it in different ways, right? Or have done it. But you identify with the truth, but so much that you think that you are your feelings. But that was never the case with guys as much, right? As much. It was never the case with the guys, where the guys would like be so lost in the sauce in that way. And when I was doing it, it was me I was a young kid. I was a teenager. And even in teenage years, was still kind of weird. But like, no, it's like grown men behaving this way. But it's identifying with the feeling. So it's not that he's just wanting to be this like emotional person, just exactly like how females tend to be for the most part. It's that he's not realizing that he's totally identifying with his emotions as if they're his. And I was just thinking, like, that's so interesting, because for those people who are like, I don't know, trying to overcome or like want to get married or whatever the case is, realize at the same time that it's a we live in an interesting time. So it may not be coming as quick as you want it to for those that want to get married. Who knows, right? But you got to understand that you don't want what's just out there, because it's a mess. So anyway, the point I want to make about that is that's the nice guy, right? Because I realize even the guys with good intentions that mean well, that want to do the right thing, have get married or have children or even mean well by their the person that they're dating and potentially want to marry, they get caught up in these things, right? And what happens is the woman takes the leadership role and the man becomes the boy, right? And she ends up having control over the situation and running the situation. And it doesn't work that way. And people still stay together forever like that. So I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying that it's a rough life. Because the man's supposed to be a man and do what he's supposed to do. But that's not what's happening. And then even the guys who are waking up now, or like trying to be manly or whatever, or trying to do the right thing, still in general, as hard as it may be, if you chase at any point, if you chase, she dominates. And it's so crazy because it's just how it is. If you chase, she dominates. And she also knows a little bit in her mind, and she may not use it against you, but sometimes she does. She knows in the back of her mind that she has that control. Right? And because that point when the guy is chasing, he's trying so hard to impress and get her and keep her, and you know, she becomes too important. And the woman knows that, and she uses that, and she likes it at the same time as well. Because it feels good to her to know that I got this one. He ain't going nowhere. I got him. I ain't gonna say what that means because we got kids watching. And it may not even be like, and some know that, but they may not even like lord it over you like in like an evil way, but yet they still know this. And that's not a good thing. And there's a natural way and a normal way where you can show each other attention, where you're chasing each other in a sense, right? If we're using the term chasing each other, right? To where there's respect there, and she still respects your role, you respect her role, but yet you guys still have this like, oh, you know, where you can, I don't know if I'm making sense, to where you guys are still chasing each other, but it's not like a dominant or inferior thing. Because you guys both mean well, the intentions are her, but you also know your role. And you're not like subject to each other. So there's a proper way where you can like let people have the upper hand, let like the person you're with have the upper hand on certain situations. But in our society today, the men are chasing and the women are dominating. That's just the reality. And things aren't working out on a mass scale because women are starting to run things. And when they're running things for the most part emotionally. And that always crumbles. It's just the facts. Emotions always crumble. They always crumble. Always. They always crumble. And they always change up and down. So, I have a clip I want to show you guys real quick. It's so good. Ooh. This is so good. And then I'm going to talk about the bad boys, and then I'm off this. But you guys seen Tom and Jerry. Everybody know Tom and Jerry. Everybody know Tom and Jerry. Well, sometimes Tom and Jerry was speaking some facts. And we were too young to notice. But sometimes Tom and Jerry, they had some lessons in there. They was spitting. So I have a little clip from Tom and Jerry. Ooh, this is so good. And so true. And this was like in like the 90s maybe. Or I think the 90s. So let me play this. This is from Instagram. Going broke. I almost want to just say that when you're meeting people, almost hide it completely. Your money, what you have, how much you have, your status, hide it completely. Boom. Because you don't even want the mind to start playing on the woman's intentions. There should be no impressing anybody. There should be no impressing anybody. And it's so good, that clip, because, you know, man, and I can relate. We grow up being taught like big ring, show them what you got. Show them that you're a provider. Show them that you got the money and all these things. And we're taught to, you know, impress the ladies by chasing them. And you will impress them by being yourself, right? But impress the lady by chasing them. When you chase them, they don't respect you. They don't respect you. They don't respect you. Because they're looking to look up to somebody. That's just how and they'll fight you on it. They'll fight you on it and say like, you're being too much. I want you to tell me you love me more, or buy me more things and all that stuff. They'll fight you on it. But deep down, they know that that's not the answer. They want you to be strong. But anyway, when you chase it, they dominate. And you see the bad boy was in there. The bad boy with the big limo, with the big red car. Ooh, I used to want that to be me so bad. I could be like, and with the bad guys, I'm going to be quick and I'm going to end this. With the bad guys, the reason why the women love the bad guys the most, literally, you can have it all on paper that you're the right guy. They're going to choose the bad guy. Why? Because the guys who don't need them and just want to use them, the ladies like that because, for one, they see like the false version of confidence, for one, but for two, they like not being needed. Right? They like not being needed. But and they'll accept being used. Not all ladies, but they'll accept being used because they just like the neglect almost. They love that. Even though the bad boys use them up, the good guy is using them up too, right? I mean, the nice guy is using them up too, but like blatantly, just like disregarding them. And they love that because in them, hardwired, they want someone that doesn't want them. It's just how it's just designed. They want someone that doesn't want them too much. They want someone they can look up to. They want somebody that can lead them and not tell them what to do. Like, you do that, you do that. But they just want someone they can look up to. But at the end of the day, the nice guy and, the one who has the good intentions and wants to do the stuff and the bad boy who just wants to use them, they both are on the same coin. They're both just trying to fill a void. Both are just trying to fill a void. So even if you think you're the good guy, the nice guy with the good intentions, I'm not saying run away from women, but just know that there's still a void you're trying to fill. So we look at the bad boy and be like, but he's the bad boy. Well, you're filling a void too. So anyway, I just wanted to make those points. Is that we just gotta work on ourselves, overcome, and the feelings are gonna come. Let's just be real. The feelings are gonna come. It's gonna come. You're gonna feel all good. You're gonna like the person. You're gonna get excited. You're gonna want them. You're gonna want to chase them. And you just want to be aware of it, though. You want to be able to see it. You want to be able to see yourself behaving that way. Not stop yourself, because that only makes it worse when you try to jump in and control it, or try to push it down or avoid it or make yourself be alpha. No, you just want to watch it. Watch yourself, like take a step back from yourself and see yourself behaving in this way, so you're disattached and not lost up in the sauce of it, the emotions. So you're acting up instead of thinking that you're normal. You know what I mean? You're being crazy instead of thinking that, oh, this is good. This is the right way to go. That's where it's at, honestly, because the feelings are going to come up. Be real. The feelings coming. The feelings going to happen. You could bank on that. The feelings are coming. But will you surrender and just watch them? And I think, I could be wrong. Hey, I'm still learning too. I'm still learning too. But I think that's the way to go. And then eventually the Lord got his own plans. I don't know. Anyway, I hope that made sense. I'm going to get to some super chats real quick and then some calls. 888-775-3773. There are some lines open. Get on in there. 888-775-3773. Get on in there. Let me see the super chats here. Kyle Mangan says, Trump says Florida's 6-week abortion law is too short. Is that Great White Hope behavior? Is his involvement in Operations Warp Speed justified? Let me see. Florida's 6-week abortion ban is too short. That's a good question. I'm not sure. I would have to look into that. You know, I don't look at decisions like that to be a make or break for me. I may disagree with certain things, but that doesn't make Trump any less of what I've seen of him just from the outside looking in, right? Of him being a tough guy, strong guy, handle situations. It doesn't change how I view him in that way, character-wise. So if that's true, then, I can agree. I can disagree. And he also may have his reasons, so don't be quick to judge. But that's not a make or break. Those are just like branches of the tree. I'm looking at the tree, the stump. Is the stump? Where the stump at? Where's the root? Is the root strong? That's where I'm looking at. I'm looking at the stump. And Trump got a good stump. But I appreciate it, Kyle Mangan. Prince Epic, men need critical analysis of their inner world. I don't quite know what that means, but the men need something. We out here acting up. And I'm not talking about just in the US. Across the globe, we over here acting. In the UK too, Canada. You heard Zenny calling, trying to pretend like he JC. What the? Lord, you need to do another silent prayer. Right on, Prince Epic. I appreciate it. You're right, though. You're right about that. Let me see. Surge on with the donut. Being a romantic is so unnatural. The devil played a trick on me, of course. This came from mama. She told me to be like this. My dad would never wait. I don't know my dad. Black America dad story. Yeah. It'd be like that though, sir. It'd be like that. Just gotta learn and grow. Learn and grow. You feel better about yourself if I told you what I done did in the past. Oh, you would feel better. You would feel real manly. So take heart. Right on. What's wrong with you? Says Galahad. Okay, let me get to the calls. Let's get to the calls here. Sarah said, no, Joel, I'm worse. Let me go to a first-time caller, Matthew out of California. Hold on, Matthew.
Hello?
Matthew, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How you doing, Joel?
All is well, Matthew. How are you?
I'm doing all right now, I guess.
Right on.
I just wanted to talk to you about that good boy versus bad boy thing you were just talking about earlier.
Yes, sir. Have you called in before?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
First time.
Nice. Go ahead.
And I just wanted to say that everything you said is true. I recently just went through the same thing, how you said, oh, the emotion's coming. You could try to hold them off for as long as you can, but oh, the emotion's coming.
Yep.
And I just recently went through that, I try to do everything right. You know how it goes, and the emotions come, and there's a warning for everybody listening. You got to stay strong because, man, if you don't, it's over.
Yeah, it's I think that what you're saying is true, because the emotions really do take over and they blind you. Unfortunately, they blind you. But instead of us trying to, because I've been doing this for a very long time and it hasn't brought me any, it's been a struggle, is I've been trying to be strong. I've been trying to push it away or control it so I don't get caught up in it. But what seems to work better for me, and I'm still learning, is that just surrendering and letting go and just watching it. Stop trying to control it, because it's a spiritual thing. We've heard Jesse Lee Peterson talk about. I don't know if you listen to Jesse Lee Peterson. I'm sure you do. Yeah. And it's a spiritual battle, and he's right when he says that. And we have to let God work on our behalf, renew our minds, and draw us in. But what we can do is just watch it instead of trying to control it. And I feel like that's a step closer than trying to think that we can get rid of it or avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does. It really does. It was kind of funny because the whole time, like the Tom and Jerry thing you showed, and how Tom was going through it at the end. That was me. I was going through it.
Yeah, that's all of us. That's most. That's most of us. Yeah.
But it's just true. The woman might tell you one thing that, hey, why don't you pay more attention? Why don't you, why aren't you more affectionate?
Yeah.
Man, once you start doing what they say, it's kind of like you just take it for granted and they don't want it no more.
Yeah. And that's such a good point, Matthew, too, is that because they think that that's what they want. They think that that's going to make things all better. And when you give it, they still have that conflict. So then they find something, it doesn't satisfy them like they thought it did. So they need something else. And what they need is they need that void to be filled with, love, light, and overcome. And that's why it's our job to do our best to do the right thing by them. Even if they hate it in a moment, they'll eventually appreciate it.
Yep. So that was all I just wanted to say. I just went through everything that you just talked about.
Well, what was it like, if you don't mind me asking, what was it like for you when she would say, give me a this, or tell me you love me, or whatever she would say, and you would give it? What was that response like?
It was like, okay, I got it, and now I'm going cold. It's like she got it, and you know what? It was like, I don't know if I want this anymore.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I got.
And was she like grateful for her, like thank you type of thing, or was it just a new thing to complain about? Another thing.
Well, when it happened, I buy her flowers, all that garbage.
Yeah.
It was, oh, thank you, I really appreciate it, whatever. And then when it ended, because the relationship ended, it was, it was too much. I just felt weird about everything. It was too much.
Man, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. And deep down, what's crazy, and this is what I think, deep down, they know that's the case too. They know that by you doing all that is crazy, but they still want it, right? Because they just want so desperately not all, but a lot of women want so desperately just to feel secure, feel good, feel loved or whatever, and feel secure. So then they make you give them all these things, but they're watching you at the same time do it, and they're losing respect for you at the same time.
Yep. And
Yes.
the funny thing is when I bought those flowers, I knew deep down in my stomach, maybe I shouldn't do this. Even after I was looking at them sitting in my car, I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't even do this. This doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
But I still did it, and well, I guess I paid for it.
Yeah, but you learned the lesson, man. You learned the lesson, and now we just move forward. We all been there. I don't care any kind of alpha male that want to say I'm an alpha male. Everybody been there, and it's just a learning process. It ain't bad. It ain't a bad thing to go through. It ain't. It's just a part of life. That's what happens, and that's how we wake up. So it's all good.
For sure, 100%. I know what not to do now.
Right. Exactly. Well, I appreciate the call, Matthew. Call me again, man.
Yeah, have a good one.
All right, you as well. Nice. We all been there. Let me go to first time caller. I'm gonna move these calls here. Callers, be patient. I will get to you shortly. Be patient. First time caller, Mark out of Florida.
Mark,
Mark,
how you doing, Joel?
all is well, Mark. How's it going?
Not bad. I was just explaining. I've been listening to Jesse's shows I've been a believer all of my life, most all of my life. I've been a Christian, and then nothing seemed to fit together. Like, I was thinking something's wrong here. I'm not really like in the right place, or I'm not really like a genuine believer or whatever. And then just up and down and down as a believer. And then about a month or two ago, I started seeing Jesse on these shows, and I agree with like everything he's saying. Yeah. And I'm just trying to get up enough courage to like go, to call my mom and make amends or ask for forgiveness. And I just freeze up, and then I was almost ready to do it a few minutes ago, and I guess my question was for somebody that's done it, before. What are like some do's and don'ts? Yeah. What are like do's and don'ts? I mean, she normally cuts me off. If this was an easy conversation and we had a disagreement, sometimes she'll cut me off. And I feel like it's a life and death. Like I feel like right now it's, am I going to do what God wants me to do? Or am I going to follow that fear and not do what God wants me to do? And then I'm thinking, oh, she's going to cut me off, or she'll tell you to go to H. She'll tell you. So let me stop there and see what you're. Well, that's where I'm at. It's just afraid of it, and then like, oh, I'm not going to be afraid.
Yeah. Well, this is just my advice. This is not necessarily what Jesse would say. I don't know. You would have to, everything that I say, or any of the other hosts may say, doesn't mean that it's a direct reflection of Jesse. This is just my opinion. My question is, do you see that you need to forgive? Do you truly see it, or did you just hear the message and it makes sense and it sounds like the right thing to do, but do you see that that's what you should do and that you need to forgive?
So I agonize. So I heard everything Jesse said, and it sounds like it's true about families and their relationship with your mom and dad. And then I was agonizing over it. So I finally told myself, Mark, just say it within your heart. And so I was just. What do you mean
by agonizing over it? What do you mean by that?
The fear of like going to my mom, I just said, like the fear of going to my mom and then she's going to cut me off. And then what am I even really doing So your question is, do I need to forgive her?
No,
I feel like I've already done that in my heart. Like I prayed to God.
Not do you, not that. I mean, so because I'll give you an example. When I seen that I need to forgive, I seen that I needed to forgive, and this is just my opinion. I seen it, and when I seen it, I felt it. It felt like this is what I had to do. Like, yeah, there was a little bit of fear there, but it wasn't like something like that was gonna resist me from doing it, because I seen, and in me seeing, it kind of gave me the courage to go do it. But that's what I'm wondering, if that was the same for you, or because when you say that you're agonizing over doing it, it makes me wonder if you actually see to do it, or you're just trying to muster up the courage to do it.
I'm trying to, well, both.
Okay.
I think personally I disagree with Jesse just a little bit, because I feel like in my heart, the first step was to acknowledge what happened.
Okay.
Is that I do resent my mom, or I've been angry at her at times, on and off.
Yeah.
And so I do understand what Jesse is saying.
Yeah.
I do have a spirit of unforgiveness, and I have it, and it came from my mom.
Yeah. You see that part, but you don't see that you should go and forgive.
That's debatable, because I don't want to hurt her, more. I don't want to cause, I don't want to. I have friends and different things. They do things that are wrong, or they upset me. But my amends normally with guys and different people, it's like just to go back and, smile and say, share their company.
Yeah.
Or I might just say, hey, I said something stupid.
Yeah.
So that's typically throughout my life. That's what I've done to try to make amends with other people.
Yeah.
Is either a straightforward, hey, I'm sorry, I said something dumb, or I might have said something, or I don't know, just go share their company and, smile or whatever, and just be around them, and they kind of know. They kind of know it's like everything's okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I understand it. I totally understand it, because in you're saying in everyday life, when things happen, not every moment do you go to that person and like express to them forgiveness, or that you forgive, or that you're sorry for resenting. You kind of just like unknowingly, without being said, are like letting it go, and you're friends again, type of thing. But I think in more regards to when it comes to the parents, is like these are long-term issues that came from them, and it's always good to address those issues with somebody, so that not only does it release from you, but it just clears the air also from them, because sometimes they don't even know that they did these things, or that it had this much of an effect on you. And then it could make them reflect on their life and realize, like, wow, I didn't know I was doing that, or I didn't know I was behaving this way. And it may like trigger something in them to want to, be better. So, I can't really say exactly the best answer for you to do, but all I know is that if you don't see to go do it, don't do it for the sake of because you think that's what you have to do. You want to be able to know why you're doing it, and it has to make sense, or, you're forcing it. But I do know for a fact that it doesn't, that fear that you feel is not the truth. It tells you that she's going to cuss you out. It tells you that, I don't know, she's going to kill you. But at the end of the day, you can't let that stop you from doing what the right thing is. But I don't know. I can't really tell you exactly what to do. That's kind of something that you have to just see for yourself to do.
I think when Jesse is talking about you won't, if you don't, it's like if you don't do this, if you don't offer that forgiveness. I get confused because I've got to go to Mama and ask her to forgive me. I get confused. But it's like, if I don't do this, I will not enter the kingdom of heaven. And I'm like, is that more like the kingdom of heaven in my spirit? You know, I won't have. Yeah. I think more or less, I won't have that peace.
See, those are good questions. Those are good questions, Mark, and those are questions that you have to seek within to understand what these things mean. So that way, you're not doing it in vain, in my opinion. So those are good questions. Those are good questions. You said what?
Right, I agree. Not when you said not doing it in vain, that kind of makes sense, because I kind of feel like it could be in vain if it's not really. I want to be living in that truth or living in that calmness.
Yeah.
So I've started to experience it a little bit. I do the silent prayer more, and I've started to experience some of that peace from listening to the videos and stuff. And then I'm like, man, I need to hold on to that peace, to just say kind of briefly to my mom, that, hey, I resented, some parts of our childhood or whatever. Try to make it.
Yeah.
I feel like I should just try to make it brief or kind of short, because I'm not there yet. I feel like I just kind of got on. Yeah.
Well, that's what is coming off right now, and I don't know your situation, but that's what it's coming off. It's like you're only want to do it because you've heard that this peace is going to come to you after it's done, but the peace comes to you when you truly understand why you're doing it. You know what I mean? It to me, if you're just going there to do it just so you can feel better, just as like a 1, 2, 3 step type of thing, then I don't think you're gonna get the results you're looking for.
It's a good chance I may not get that result.
Yeah,
it is highly likely I may not feel better.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
My poor mom.
And you have, but the second thing is that you don't want to think poor mom either, though. You don't want to have that identifying with that fear type of thing either, because that also is not real. You don't want to think poor mom, because maybe mom needs to hear the truth. Maybe when the time is right? Maybe mom needs to hear the truth, and she needs to be told what she hasn't been told by other people, which is why in the first place she's done it to you and other people around her. So there is no poor anybody. You just do the right thing and let the cards fall where they may.
I thought about that right away when I was listening to Jesse. I thought, at first I was so afraid, and then I thought, oh, I bet she needs to hear this, because she's driven everybody. Yeah. She's driven almost everybody away, and like most women that I know, I do see where they've got this sinful nature.
Yeah.
But then again, overall, they kind of get along, kind of okay. But
you
it
mean
seems like it's more hit, huh?
You mean her and her friends type of thing?
I think with my mom, it's unusually like whatever Jesse is saying with my mom, it's like word for word. It's like he's talking about the nature of women, and I'm like, oh man. And then even with girlfriends, like even with Christian girlfriends, I'm like, it was just he just says they're evil. What does he say now? I can't remember exactly what he said. That's what I said when I was a little kid.
You reckon?
I know I knew it back then.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So I think what I'm trying to say is that with a lot of people, well, I guess if they're Christian or not Christian, they're kind of like going, it seems like they're kind of going along okay. It's a little bit more hidden.
Yeah.
Like what's your sinful nature, or that deceit, that whatever, that they got that ego, and that's what I'm going to have to work on too, is my ego. But now I think what I'm trying to say was with my mom, it's very clear because I grew up with her, and I've had a relationship is 40, 50 years, as an adult. And she's driven everybody away. And then I say my poor mom because she's 80-some years old, and then she is alone. But then again, like I thought about it, she probably does need to hear something from me.
That's love. That's love too. And I think a lot of people, misunderstand that love is also being upfront. Love is also being straightforward and being honest with somebody and standing your ground too. People also think that it's all love is at all times is just fluffy and gentle. There's a time to be, careful and gentle, but there's also a time to be tough. And a lot of the times people don't do that, and they're doing a disservice to the people around them because they have the mentality of, oh, poor them. I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want to. But God doesn't look at it that way with us. He'll give it when it needs to be given at the right time. So you do want to make sure that when you go, you are straightforward with her and you don't sugarcoat, right? You be honest because that's what she needs to hear. But also you don't go to ask for her to forgive you. You apologize to her for resenting her all these years because it's wrong for us to resent because they got issues just like we got issues. They've been deceived just like we've been deceived. And we're wrong for hating them. But then you forgive her. But you don't ask her for your forgiveness. So if you do end up going to do that, you don't got to ask her to forgive you.
Yeah, that reminds me of something. You said something about love, and then I just watched a show about an hour ago. I'm just starting to understand what love is. And it was really just from listening to one of Jesse's shows. And I had suspicions a long time ago that everything I'm doing, like if I put money in an offering plate or if I did something, I knew a long time ago this is for my benefit.
Yeah.
Like to make me feel good.
Yeah.
Like if I go see a girl and she's pretty, and so I do something, for her, or to, talk to her or whatever. It's not love. It's not love. I'm trying to get something out of it.
Yeah.
A date, a hug, or her, voice, whatever.
100%.
Yeah, and like. So for me, listening to Jesse is like, oh, this is what I thought about a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I feel like it's just I need to try to process it because it's it's a clearer understanding of what's going on with me, and then the scriptures and what's God trying to tell me.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And then I'm running out of time. I gotta end the show shortly here. But what you just said was perfect, Mark, is that you just processing all this stuff that you learned, right? Because we knew this stuff when we were younger. Like you said, you knew it, but we just forgot it along the way with all these weird teachings in the world and stuff. But you're hearing it again, but now it's just processing it, right? Let it reveal itself and let it make sense to you, so you're not forcing it, looking for some type of feeling or feel better. I was doing the same thing as well, but you're not gonna get it by thinking if you give it, I'm gonna get it back. No, it has to be genuine, and it has to be you have to be led to do these things so you see exactly why you're doing them, and then you'll get the result. So just being patient with where you're at and just learning and taking it in a day at a time and not trying to rush the process just to get to what you think peace is. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. There's not many groups of other Christians that seem to understand. I don't think a lot of people really even understand It's kind of mind blowing to listen to Jesse. I've had one friend that was, I think he was a good Christian on the right path. He quotes scriptures, not like a Bible thumper, but he'll quote it in a nice way.
Yeah.
But all I would say, I know you got to wrap it up. It's just, I just want to feel like I'm on the right track. And so what you're saying, kind of like just focus on really what am I doing, and not just jumping on the phone to. I think with my mom, it is gonna be a short. It needs to be a short.
Well,
message.
It doesn't. I wouldn't plan it. I wouldn't plan what you're gonna say or do or how it's gonna be. Just kind of wait and see what happens. But you are on the right track by asking the right questions, right? You have these certain questions like, do I really need to do it? You're asking all the right questions, and all we can do is observe our actions, but also seek within. Ask within.
Right.
Look for the answers within. Ask those questions that you're saying, and they will be revealed. Ask and you shall receive. So you're on the right track by being curious and making sure that you're doing the right thing. So don't doubt that. And all in all, God is only asking for our faith, our belief in Him, to trust that He's going to take care of us. So just keep your faith in Him, and then he'll lead you to where you need to go, whether it be to call JLP, whether it be to call one of the other hosts here on the shows, call me, whatever. But God will lead you, and that is the right track, not based off of, things or actions and stuff like that. But I got to run, Mark. I appreciate it. Call me again if you have any more questions. I'm so out of time here, but call me again.
This has been great. Yeah, this is good.
Right on, Mark. I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
All right, man. Yeah, have a good day.
All right. Man. Gosh. I'm just 2 minutes because he's been waiting on the line so long here. 2 minutes, and then I got to end it. You guys know how I got to end. Great call from Mark. Great calls so far today. Amazing stuff. And we wish Mark well. Hopefully, he's already doing the right thing. So, really quick, let me go to John out of Texas. John, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Joel, man, I see you trying to be a good influence, and at the end of your show, you said that women want when you don't want them, right? Can I add something to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, shoot. I just forgot.
Well, let me just say what you're saying, and then if you remember, then jump in. But yes, women want you when you don't want them, but not because you're playing a game of not wanting them. You know what I mean? Because that's also still not genuine. It's when like you are not getting caught up, or you're just paying attention to what's going on, and you're aware of it. Because if you just
and then the women that aren't in the fallen state, let's say that they aren't in the fallen state, so you're paying attention and you're not leaving and you're not running away, and you don't have that energy. You're grounded. You're in the present moment, and so what they don't want anything. They're waiting on God to add a man to them. So what God's going to do, He's going to send you, who's not going to leave, who's not going to run away. And so that's kind of like stimulating, or, I don't want to get too deep into it.
No, yeah.
But it's not every nice guy is Superman. Not every bad boy is Batman.
Yeah. That's a good point.
But anyways.
But you're right. Just to add to your point really quick is when it is added in that way, you avoid a lot more problems with the chasing and the games and all that stuff. All that stuff is kind of almost, for the most part, like deleted from the equation because it wasn't added by the game, or it didn't come together by saying the right things, doing the right, doing the right work or giving flowers every day. It just came on its own. So you're right about that, John. I appreciate it.
Yeah, seek first the kingdom of God. Seek first the kingdom of God.
Seek first the kingdom of God. 100%, John. I appreciate it. Call me again, man. I'm so out of time. Guys, Rick and the rest of the callers, I know. But, it's just how it crumbled today. The cookie had to crumble this way. I got to end. Shout out to the chats, Facebook, IG, and YouTube, and Punchy.tv. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the super chats, calls, and everything. Right on. I'm out of time, but guess what? I'm back here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I'm back here for another show. Some more mess. So tell your peoples about the show across the board. Joel Friday TV, YouTube, Instagram. Tell your peoples about the show, y'all. So we get the message out. American Anchor Baby is coming in at 4 p.m. American Anchor Baby is coming in at 4 p.m. Nick's show. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you tune into his show. All right, guys. Until next time, I got to go. I got stuff I got to do. See you guys.